I think that from an investor point of view, you certainly need to be aware of, like, pick your battle, which means that, a lot of my investor friends from outside of China, I would suggest or recommend, if anything that is really like B2C, that is focused on consumer, usually is actually quite hard for non-Chinese investor to get into the game. Because gaming, for example, right, is really not about just like a fun game. It's about operating a game. If you have no idea when is Chinese New Year, or when is like the national, all the national holidays, which Chinese have so many, you really have, there's all these campaigns that you need to run to make sure that you can actually monetize the game. And I think that have nothing to necessarily do with is this good for a foreign investor or not. It's really about, when it's B2C, it's harder for someone that don't speak the language.
Right.
And then on blockchain and in crypto, it's really a love-hate relationship. I think the Chinese government, by the way, I think both Shenzhen and Hangzhou have particular funds, government-backed, to invest in blockchain. What Chinese government not endorsing is the crypto part of the thing, which is challenging the fundamental of financial systems. You see a lot of really interesting use cases for blockchain, logistic, healthcare, trade finances. I think the Hong Kong Monetary Authority actually launched the trade finance system using blockchain. So you certainly see a lot of really great examples that can use blockchain for deployment.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you have any examples of blockchain companies, or the type of companies that you would be looking at that you think would have potential in China?
I think certainly more on the enterprise side of the house. So any sort of enterprise can potentially use sort of the trustless, decentralized data architecture that could be really interesting. Doesn't matter, like with insurance or certain. I was looking at a use case where trying to certify diamonds, and as diamonds come from one place, you pass it to verify to jeweler. You want to make sure that is real jewelry for us. So I think there's a lot of really practical use cases that the whole world can use blockchain for.